point. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works. So if you want me to keep getting louder, I will do it. But ultimately, if I show you respect, give me the respect back. I let you talk. I let you make your points. I'm countering your points. And my points are just as valid as yours, even though you got a Puppet Square and a Church of Christ pin on your chest.
It's not a Church of Christ.
Whatever. It's a cross. Same difference. You got an American flag and you think you know something because you a cop. And ultimately, it's a cab all day over here. So let me make that clear. But let me also add to my point. My point is that you can sit here and blame black people on black people all day long and not acknowledge that we are forced into. You're going to interrupt me again.
All right, that is flagged, so I'm asking you to return to your seat.
It's a waste of my time. Y'all just want to be seen. I don't need to be seen. Hello.
How are you? I'm good. Say less outfits. So this is my thing. I think the premise of your question was black on black crime. So I think I'm coming from a place, and I guess my issue is having had my biological father murdered by a black man, having had my cousin shot in the head by a black man. We can talk numbers and statistics and what the people are doing, what the white man is doing, and all that. But at the end of the day, I see when my family was in the south side of Chicago, and I think you and I both can attest to this, and I'm not saying that there are not other factors, but we know that we kill each other at a disproportionate rate than any other race. Now, why we do that, and why 6,000 to 9,000 of black men are going to be homicided or killed or whatever by the end of the year annually by other black men, whereas the likelihood of a black man being killed by a white police officer is less than 150 per year, we know that we kill each other at a higher rate. So I'm not debating that there are not factors at play, but because I've lived the experience as a black woman losing my father to be murdered by a black man walking down the street, no worries, thank you, but walking down the street in inner cities and different things, knowing that it's more likely that my own brother will rob and rape me than a white man or a white officer, we gotta be real.
What's your proximity to white men in the south side of Chicago? Are there even white men around to rob and rape you at the same rate that there are black men?
There are white men around.
At the same rate.
There wasn't a lot of black people in there, but then that doesn't justify the fact that we're destroying each other. So even if we can nothing like there,
we can agree on that.
Okay, because I feel like a lot of
nothing
times
justifies.
like, well,
I'm not a liberal. I'm not a liberal.
Okay, well I would say that people that sometimes have your stance that are against conservatives, maybe they have this claim that they're making it up, they're making up the numbers. We know that we do that to each other. So I want to get to the root of the issue. Why are we killing each other? I think the root of the issue is we've lost our values and we've lost our resilience as black people. We sit there and we talk about what the white man did, we talk about slavery and everything like that, but we have no self-accountability and say, you know what, at the end of the day, that is my black grandmother, that is my black sister, you are my black sister, and you know that a black man is more likely to rob you or commit some type of crime against you, and that's what we need to get down to the issue of. And like you were talking about earlier, like, hey, well, what's going on? You know, what do you think the answer is to one of the brothers that were speaking? I think it's the breakdown of the family. I think, like he said, because of our poor choices, and what happens is we look at domestic violence, for example. When domestic violence, women or men are even attacked, what is the first thing we say? It's like, you know what, it's not your what? It's not your fault. So that's what we do. We hold on to this narrative that, well, it's not our fault. The issues are in our community. They're not my fault. When the white man needs to give us something, the old white lady down the street is looking at me, and I don't know why she got braids in hair. We focus on all these other stupid things that don't matter. We don't get to the root of the fact that we're killing each other at a higher rate than any other race. It is self-hatred amongst us. I believe that we can do that. That we, my cousin, my mom's cousin, excuse me, coming from the church parking lot, and guess who stuck her up and robbed her at gunpoint? A black man.
I need you to get to the point.
Like, so my point is that, you know, and I'm not trying to be funny, unless like you said, we're going to keep it respectful.
Yeah, but you're monopolizing the whole conversation.
I'm going to let you speak, but let's not get the attitude and stuff, because you're my sister and I respect you.
So I don't have an attitude, I'm being direct to you, but you're literally not speaking this, and you're not going to do that with me either.
Okay,
so you're stating your point, and you've been stating your point for quite some time.
So say the proper way for me to respond.
respond.
Yeah, would you allow me to respond? So that's a better response. Go ahead.
The response that I have for you is that everything you're saying does not exist in a vacuum. I actually agree with you in that, yes, there has been an incredible denigration of black worth and black pride in this nation. I think it's also very important to acknowledge what has contributed to that. And to state that it is only black people that have contributed to that is a false flag. So we have to admit that. So in order to have this conversation around how we got here, you can't say, oh, well, we're caring about the white woman getting braids, that doesn't matter, and this thing. All of that attaches. All of that is actually a very big part of the lack of worth of black people.
I'll ask, do you think we're resilient? What does resilience mean to you? Do you think we have to be perpetual victims, or do you think that black
I
people
think
are
that those
resilient?
are two different conversations. I think that the concept of black people being victims is really trying to not provide accountability to where the root problem for the actual cause is. And if we keep saying that somebody is a victim and that doesn't mean that the other person should have to actually have accountability, then what are we really doing? You can do both. You can be a victim and be resilient.
How do we do both if we stay in the victimhood? That's my question.
But your statement about black people staying in the victim place is also your point of view. We continue to rise above it by one, pouring into our communities with mutual aid, but two, by simultaneously making sure that we are challenging the systems that are in place to impede us. We have so many opportunities where we are trying to do mutual aid, and those things get disrupted by folks who want to have capitalist gain, by folks who want privatization. We used to have all these mom and pop businesses in our communities.
There's only 3 million black billionaires in America right now. You are an intelligent black woman that is successful.
That's irrelevant.
No one's stopping me from doing anything. I'm an intelligent black woman that
Many
graduated and
efforts
is
have
successful.
tried to stop me from doing what I do. We are not all equal in our capabilities. And we are not all equal in our ability to be invested in by others. We are not all equal in our trauma.
Are we resilient?
We can't say we because it is a false equivalency.
I believe that every black person has resilience.
We
From
keep
slavery
trying,
all the way to
but we
today.
keep trying to cause.
So sorry, I'm so sorry. You've been voted out.
This school year, stop losing your stuff with my 360 tile trackers.
Level up your game at Pure Hockey. We've got the hottest gear dropping from all the top brands now through year end. Don't miss out on the best sticks, skates, and everything you need on or off the ice. Experience next level customer service from our gear experts and get the perfect fitting skates with cutting edge 3D scanning technology. Plus, Pure Rewards members rack up points with every purchase. You can even score up to 10x points every time you get your skate shot moved. Gear up like a pro at your new Rochelle Pure Hockey.
First, I want to say, I want to kind of get rid of this like right-left ordeal. I really want to talk about just like our own personal views and what we've experienced, what we've seen. And when it comes to your claim about black-on-black crime, I really do believe, and I think a lot of people here do believe, especially based off of personal experiences and everything, that it is just lack of accountability. In the black community, we need to start taking responsibility for our actions and stop pointing our fingers at other people and the white man. Because to be
Why
honest,
can't both happen at the same time? Both are causes.
because you gotta clean your own house before
Both
you
are
go
why?
complain. Because
If you're dirtying my house,
no,
if you
no,
keep
it's
pouring
not-
shit into
no.
my house
It's-
and I'm cleaning it, why can't I do both? Why can't I clean my house and bar the windows from you shitting on
because
my house?
it begins with responsibility within us. If we're like,
Yes.
okay, oh, if the white person's doing this to me, the white person's not. We're not
But they
gonna ever
are.
come to the core of the
But
issue.
they are.
We need to take
And it's not even
responsibility.
just the white person, because now we have seen very many races, people of very many backgrounds that are actively participating in the effort to keep a working class down. Like that's absolutely a fact. It's not just white people. So I don't attend to that. But I will say the reality of there being systems in place is real. Over-policing is a real thing. You know what's also been really real is the effort of violence interruption in certain communities, right? So we've seen this in Detroit, we've seen this in New York, we've seen this in Baltimore, where there are communities that have said, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna be like a neighborhood watch for our community. So that before the popo even come, before 12 even rolls up in here, we're gonna actually put ourselves in between the conflict and calm it down. And that has been incredibly effective. But you know what? It's not funded. It's not funded. And you would think that like city councils and mayors and governors would say, shit, you know what? This is gonna save us so much money. Because why? Taxpayers keep having to pay for the fault of these police officers. And even though we say, well, only certain people, only a certain number of people have died, that doesn't dispel the fact that a large amount, more black people are imprisoned than any other group in this nation. And that is not by accident.
Again, I started with accountability, and it seemed like in my
But I
own time.
disagree with you.
No,
I mean, I don't
it is.
disagree. Sorry, I don't disagree disagree with you.
Because here's the thing. Look at our media. Look at rap. Look at what we're glorifying. We're glorifying violence.
Who's we? Wait, who's we? Who's we?
The black community. The black community.
Who controls the distribution of these sources of media?
And who takes it in?
And
who takes it in?
Listen, if you're okay, so
who takes it
let me
in?
put it in this context. If I have a company, right, and you guys are my employees, and I determine what you get to eat every day, that's also going to determine how you exist in this company, right? Like if you come to work and I say the only thing you can eat is processed foods and fried foods, and you're not going to get to have the best vegetables, etc. What's that going to affect? Your health. That's going to affect your ability to operate, etc. This is how the United States operates. And there's a lot of us that don't want to admit that as much as accountable as we want to be, all of our brains also don't operate the same way. Some of us are much more apt to be indoctrinated than others. That's a fact. There is a 1% of people that knows this. There's a whole show called Mad Men that's about advertising, etc. And if we don't acknowledge multiple things at the same time, then we simply cannot stop it. We can be as accountable as we want to be. And I hope that if you're right, because I hope you're right, I wish that it was a situation where if black people could just be accountable, then nothing else would matter. But unfortunately, that hasn't been the case, because we have seen when we have Black Wall Street in Tulsa and we have Black Wall Street in Durham, that when we actually do hold our own and build our own communities, they will still come and run it down.
Pause. You've been voted out. Please return to your seat.